Hello students, let us start our new session of chapter number 10, Gravitation. So here, let us start with the new topic, Importance of the Universal Law of Gravitation. So as we have already discussed Universal Law of Gravitation, from that the several phenomena which we are going to believe, in which we are going to be connect, and we can accept universally this law, and we can observe that these forces are existed around us. Very few of the examples are already mentioned over here. That as we know that around the sun planets are moving, likewise around the earth moon is moving. So that force which binds to move the moon around the earth, as well to move the planets around the sun. And that universal law of gravitation is existed, which bind us to leave us onto the earth. We can walk, we can stand over the earth. That is also based on the gravitation force. So as the motion of the planets around the earth, the motion of the moon around the earth is existed. Due to it as well, we can experience a force, and which can bind us towards the earth. And as well, we can observe the tides in a sea due to moon and the sun. As the gravitational forces existed between earth and moon and between earth and sun, so the level of the sea can rise and fall. As you if you observe that in some of the days in a month, level of the sea is increases, that is known as a higher tide, and some of the days in a month level of the sea is reduced, that is known as a low tides. So the tides of a sea is also varying based on the gravitational force is existed between earth and moon and between earth and sun. So this is what the force is existed around us, which we can observe, we can feel, we can stand onto the earth, and it is experienced by us also. So this is how the gravitational law is accepted universally, which is important for us. Now, let us go through the other topic, free fall. To understand this phenomena, let us do one exercise. Take one stone and throw it from upward side. While we are throwing it at upward side, it reaches at certain distance with some speed, and then it starts to fall downward side. So its velocity is varying, as well the direction is also varying. And as the earth attracts the object towards it, that is due to the gravitational force. So whenever this object is falling down towards the earth, due to that gravitational force, we say that object is falling down, that is a free fall of the object is existed. Right? I repeat, when the stone is throwing upward side, it gets some velocity and the direction is upward side. After some time, that same object changed its direction, it started to move in downward side, so direction is changing, with that also velocity is varying. So that is due to the force is existed, the attraction force is existed towards the earth, that is a gravitational force, and due to that force, object is moving freely downward side. This phenomena is known as free fall. So while the object is moving freely, falling downward side, at that time, no change in the direction is existed. So no change in the motion is there. While we are throwing upward side, from that direction is changed. Then it is started to move it downward side. Now the free fall is there. So during that free fall, while the object is moving downward side without obstacle, at that time its direction won't change. So due to the earth attraction, change in the velocity is existed, but direction won't change. So change in the velocity is there. So change in the velocity we can calculate in terms of acceleration. So when the object falls towards the earth, acceleration is existed. This acceleration is available due to the earth's gravitational force. And this acceleration due to the gravitational force of the earth is available due to the gravity of the earth, or we can say due to the gravitational force of the earth. This gravitational force is denoted by small g. That small g is defined for the acceleration due to the gravitational force. So g is nothing but acceleration. But this acceleration is existed due to the earth, due to the gravitational force. So that g itself acceleration, so unit of g is the same as the acceleration, meter per second square. So while we observe the second law of motion, while we relate over here that the force is available due to the mass of the object and due to the acceleration. As due to the second law, we know the equation F equals to m into A. M is the mass of the object and A is the acceleration is present of that object. So here, this acceleration is due to the gravitational force of the earth. So instead of the A, we can denote small g, and m is the mass of the object. So force is experienced by the object due to free fall is due to the mass. The force is experienced by the object due to its mass of the object, and the gravitational force is experienced by that object. Based on that, it gets the acceleration, which is g. So instead of the A, replace with the g. So now that force equation becomes m into g. And in previous topic, we have defined the force is experienced by the object based on the universal law of gravitational force, that is F equals to capital G into capital M into small m divided by d square. So now two force equations are existed with us. So try to complete both the equation. So that is small mg equal to g into m divided by d square. So from both the side, mass of the object can be cancelled out. Small m can be nullified based on the mathematical step. So small g equals to capital G into m divided by d square. So from that, we can say that capital M is the mass of the earth, d is the distance between the object and the earth, and g is the constant, universal constant of gravitational force. So when the object is available on or near to the surface, the distance d that is equal to the radius of the earth. So instead of the d, we can place the r. So g is now gm by r square. If any object is available on or near to the surface of the earth, so from the center, the surface is available at the radius r. So now that distance become, instead of the d, we can place the radius of the earth r. So now that equation g becomes gm by r square. But as we know, earth is not a perfect sphere, that the radius of the earth is increases from pole towards the equator. So while the r is increases from the pole to the equator, so r is available in the numerator. So if r is increases, then the g value is reduces, right? But for most of the calculation, we are assumed that g to be more or less almost constant on or nearby to the earth. We are avoiding the variation of the g at pole or equator. We are taking almost constant value. So, but if the object is far from the earth, then the acceleration due to the gravitational force is available based on the d value, that is a gm by d square. So now if we want to calculate the value of the g, that equation we have gm by d square. So we need to take the constant value g, which we have already done, 6.7 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. And m is the mass of the earth, that is 6 into 10 raised to 24 kilogram, and r is the radius of the earth, that is 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 meter, or you can say 6.4 into 10 raised to 3 kilometer. So let us put the value over here, gm by r square, or instead of the d you can take the value of r. By putting the value of g, m and r, we will get the value of acceleration g, small g, that is 9.8 meter per second square. So this is what the acceleration is available due to the gravitational force of the earth, that g equals to 9.8 meter per second square. This value generally we are taken as a constant near the earth or at the surface of the earth. Now let us go through the other topic, motion of the objects under the influence of gravitational force of the earth. Now we need to determine the motion of the objects. Now we have the various type of objects are there. That object can be solid, hollow, big in a size or small in a size, right? So these different objects are there. While we fall these objects from the height with the same rate, with the same speed, then we need to determine that how the influence of the gravitational force of the earth is existed. For that, let us do one activity. Take two different objects. Let us take one a paper and a stone. And these both objects we are dropping simultaneously from the same height, and we will verify its result. Let us observe the condition that paper reaches later than the stone. Stone reaches first on the earth, then the paper. Why it is so? If we are dropping both the objects simultaneously from the same height, still both objects cannot reach at the same time on the earth, but stone reaches earlier than the piece of paper. This is because while they are moving from the air gives a resistance to oppose that particular motion. So this resistance is experienced by the objects and they get a frictional force, the opposite force of the motion while they are falling, and this resistance experienced by the paper is more, because that opposite force can be easily affected over to the paper rather than the stone. So that friction force and the resistance offered by the air is experienced by the paper more than the resistance experienced by the stone. Due to this, if we do this if we do the same experience in the glass jar, if both the objects, piece of paper and the object and a stone, if these objects are fall from the same height into the jar which is packed, sucked out, then there is no air resistance is existed. So in this particular jar, when air resistance and the frictional force of the air is not present, then these both objects can move with the same velocity, and then both can reach at the end at the same time. If we fall these objects through the air, they both are experience a frictional force, opposite force, and that feels as a resistance. But if both the objects are falling in the jar which are sucked out, so there is no jar and so there is no air force is available. So based on that, we can say that both objects get a same velocity and they both are falling at the same rate. So based on that, an object experience acceleration during a free fall. So the acceleration experienced by an object is independent of the mass. By experiencing in both the cases, we can say that while the objects are falling down or free fall is available, that is not depending on the mass of the object, because if free fall we are providing in the jar which is sucked out, so air frictional force is not there, resistance is not there, so both are moving at the same speed. So based on that, we can say that while the free fall is existed, mass of the object is not considered. Mass of the free fall of the object is based on independent of its mass. It means that if the objects are hollow or solid, big in a size or small in a size, should fall at the same rate, right? So here G is acceleration is experienced by the earth, which we can define in terms of acceleration of the motion of the object, which is valid, which we have already calculated in earlier chapter. The three equations we have determined, that is defined over here, that is V equals to U plus AT, S equal to UT plus 1/2 AT square and V square equal to U square plus 2AS. These three equations we have already determined earlier chapter. In this equation, instead of A, we can replace by a G, that is the acceleration of the earth. In this equations, U defines initial velocity, V defines final velocity, and S defines distance covered by the object in time t. So these equations are accepted over here also. Instead of the acceleration of the object by the force, we can get in terms of the acceleration given by the earth. So if this object is moving in the same direction as an initial velocity, then acceleration is positive. But if object is moving in opposite direction of the initial velocity of the motion of the object, then we can get it a negative. Here we are going to end this session. Hope you understood. Thank you.